In this video, I will show you how to fill in the BCR with ABW data. Okay, over here you see the BCR and we will fill in the actual costs you see over here. First thing you have to do is create a unique key for every different cost. So for instance here we can make it housing point travel. The next one, housing point rental, etc. So we have 4 unique keys over here. Next thing we will do is create another sheet and put the ABW data in here. So I have the ABW data here. Copy, paste. So now it's over here. The next thing we will do is create another column with information at the ABW data. So we call this column key, and it consists out of 3 different elements from this data. The first thing is the transaction number. The second thing is this number, and the last thing is the external transaction source. Apply this to all transactions and create another column. We call this one key BCR1. This key BCR1 consists out of the keys you made in the BCR, these 4. So look at the transaction and decide which key you have to give it. Like over here, it's housing food. So we should give it the key housing point food. Create exactly the same key as over here, otherwise you will face problems later on. Okay, next transaction is travel, rental, another time rental. So housing point travel, housing point rental. This one was rental as well. The last 2, one is various and one is food. So housing point various and housing point food. Oh, made a mistake. There it is. Then we add another column and we call this key BCR2. And this consists out of 2 elements. The first one is the external transaction source, and the second one is key BCR1. Apply this to all the transactions, and then we add the last column. This is the BCR amount. This is the amount of dollars that you want to put in the BCR. So this time we want to use amount 4. So we say is amount 4. Applies to all the transactions. And now we've created the sufficient data we need to use it for the BCR. The next thing we will do is we'll go to the BCR, go to the cell in which you have to fill in the data, and create the following formula. Sum if, and then we use the range, and the range is key BCR2. Then the criteria, and the criteria consists out of 2 things. The first criteria is 420. And we say it has to have another criteria. It has to have this key. and if it both have those elements, then use this amount. So now you see, if it has 420 and the following key, then it will be in this cell. So 420 and food, that's 100, and that's 100, so 200 is right. You can use the same formula for the other categories of 420. There it is. To get the actual cost of 1420, we just have to make a little change in the formula. So just copy the formula, put it over here, and then we don't need 420, but 1420. Like this. Apply this to all different elements, and you can see over here the 600, which is for 1420 rental, and it's this one and this one together 600. So now you've easily filled in the BCR.